Hello everyone. In our today's video, we will focus upon some high yield MCQs in head and neck anatomy. So if you have not subscribed till yet, do subscribe. So now first question, basically it is about foramen spinosum. You must very well know the contents which are middle meningeal artery, posterior trunk of middle meningeal vein and nervus spinosus. So it is quite evident that the answer will be middle meningeal artery. Now the next question, again content of foramen ovale should be very well known, which are male, MALE, M for mandibular division of trigeminal nerve, A for accessory meningeal artery, L for lesser petrosal nerve and E for emissary vein. So quite evident the answer is correct. Now this question you must know again the superior orbital fissure very well. You must know there are three compartments: superolateral, intermediate and inferomedial. Now superolateral compartment have LFT nerves as well as superior ophthalmic vein. जो inferomedial compartment है it has inferior ophthalmic vein. Now what is left? Intermediate compartment. Intermediate compartment will have superior and inferior division of oculomotor nerve, and this is the answer. It also has nasociliary and abducent nerves. Now the next question which we will focus on is a fact based question. Basically there are interparietal bones present between occipital and parietal bones, and these are known as INCA. So this was nothing but a fact. And now the next question, this is sort of clinical. Basically in cricket injuries such type of condition may occur. Basically pterion is a point which is formed by four skull bones, which are your frontal, squamous part of temporal, greater wing of sphenoid and pterion. Now this pterion, sorry, P for your parietal. Now this pterion overlies your middle meningeal artery and lateral fissure of cerebral hemisphere. So it is quite evident that if fracture at the pterion, this will lead to rupture of MMA and will cause extradural hematoma. So this was some sort of clinical question. Again a fact based question. Metopic suture is between two frontal bones. Now this is very important. You must know all the modification of the deep cervical fascia which are enlisted in the options. The first modification which we need to talk about is investing layer, and investing layer basically splits to enclose your parotid and submandibular gland, and it also forms the roof of posterior triangle, which is the answer. Now the next question which we will see, this is again a very important clinical question with respect to surgery. You will read further. Basically you must know the content of suprasternal space of Burns, important in thyroid cancer. The contents are, first content is jugular venous arch, which is formed by anterior jugular vein. So first option is justified. The next content is lymph node and interclavicular ligament. So this option is justified. Next content is sternal head of sternocleidomastoid. Again justified. But please remember, external jugular vein is never a content of SSB. Now the next question, you must know that in the muscles of mastication, all these muscles perform elevation except lateral pterygoid. Now the next question is very important clinical condition, Frey syndrome. I will tell you about it. Basically, suppose you are a surgeon and by mistake there is an injury to parotid capsule, or a patient has a trauma and there is injury to parotid capsule. This will basically, now when their regrowth will occur, there will develop a connection between parasympathetic fibers of parotid gland, which are auriculotemporal nerve, as well as parasympathetic fibers of sweat gland, which are greater auricular nerve. Now this connection is developed. Now once salivary stimulation occurs by sight of food or taste of food, this will also lead to the stimulation of sweat gland. So this will lead to patient's condition as sweating and warm. So this is Frey syndrome, hence the nerve involved is auriculotemporal nerve. Now the next question is again a clinical based question. Basically you must know that the dampening effect is by two muscles, dampening of noise, okay, sound. So now there are two muscles, that is tensor tympani and stapedius muscle. Now tensor tympani is supplied by fifth cranial nerve, as well as the stapedius is supplied by seventh cranial nerve. Any injury to these nerves will lead to paralysis of tensor tympani, and your stapedius muscle dampening effect will be lost and hyperacusis will develop. Now the next question, you must remember that this is something related to ansa cervicalis, and ansa cervicalis will supply sternohyoid, sternothyroid, but the first two, thyrohyoid, geniohyoid, will be supplied by first cervical spinal nerve. So now we will proceed to the next question. Basically, we must know the structures present within the parotid gland. Divide it in as arteries, veins, nerve. The artery present within the parotid gland are your external carotid artery, transverse facial artery. Now the veins present are retromandibular veins formed by the unity of a maxillary vein as well as superficial temporal vein. Also facial nerve. But remember, facial artery is not present within parotid gland. Ganglion of hay fever, if I tell you, basically ganglion of hay fever is your pterygopalatine ganglion, and now you very well know that it supplies your lacrimal gland. So now the next question, which is quite straightforward, some of you might confuse it because the parotid duct or Stenson duct opens up at the level of second upper molar, but it definitely pierces buccinator at the level of third upper molar. So this is quite important. Now the next is again a fact-based management question, and it is true that Frey syndrome management is by botulinum toxin. Now this is again something related to embryology. You must remember that all the tongue muscles develop from occipital myotomes, hence supplied by hypoglossal nerve except palatoglossus. So this is very evident. Now the general sensory innervation. Once you see the tongue diagram of the nerve innervation, general and special sensory is by ninth nerve in posterior one third. This is again a soft palate nerve supply, and all of these nerves will supply soft palate. This question is again sort of clinical or daily day-to-day life, that smugglers usually deepens their piriform fossa to conceal diamonds. So we hope that these set of 20 questions helped you in revising head and neck. Though it is very vast, stay tuned for more awesome content. We will come up with more content surely, and do subscribe, share it with your study partners, batchmates, and do comment what video you want. Thank you.